visitor contact station. I apologize, we don't have many seats. We'll bring some more chairs out, but if you could just go ahead and fill the seats that we have here. To start off, we'll start with welcoming remarks from our superintendent, Dr. Sean McDuff, to start the ceremony. So thank you all for being here.
Hafele Tiro. Good morning, everybody. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you all to our ribbon cutting event. We're using this occasion to introduce and share our recent upgrades to our office, our station, and also introduce you to our office. Before I start, I'd like to thank our Park Service partners and interns for helping set up for this event. There was a lot of activity early this morning, yesterday, getting ready for you all to come visit. I'd like to recognize and personally welcome our Lieutenant Governor, Mr. David Aptang. Thank you for showing up. Mr. John Oliver Gonzalez, the Communications and Policy Advisor for the Governor's Office, elected members of Congress and the Senate. I see Mr. Edmund Gomez, Mr. Manny Castro, Tenorio, and Mr. Rangmar, Mr. Elias Rangmar. Thank you for showing up. I see also our PSS Commissioner and other department heads and distinguished guests. Thank you for showing up. We have our partners and friends also attending. I see Ms. Guerrero from MENA. I see Lori Paterka from the Friends of the Trench Group, and other community members and partners. Thank you for taking this time to celebrate with us. And we see just community members. Thank you again for coming. My name is Sean McDuff. I'm the superintendent for the Mariana Trench Marine National Monument. I started back in September 2023, and since then been working with partners to understand, protect, and tell the story of our Marine National Monument. This is your Marine National Monument. You know, it belongs to all of us, our community. So whenever I say our monument, I mean this, everyone here. This is our monument. You know, our monument is not a statue or a structure. It wasn't created to honor a person or an event, right? You know, if you look up monument in the dictionary, it also can mean lasting evidence, a reminder, or an example of something notable or great, right? And what you may be thinking, what is our monument great about? You know, what's so great about our monument? You know, in 3 words or 1 word, you know, everything, right? It's very unique. It's diverse in its ecosystems, animals, geology, and culture. Right, we have the Pacific Plate subducting under the Philippine Plate, and the Pacific Plate side of our monument is the oldest ocean crust on Earth. Right, so that's about 160 million years old. You know, when that plate was created, you know, dinosaurs were roaming the lands and swimming in our oceans, right? So it's back during the Jurassic times. So our Pacific Plate is Jurassic. We have coral reefs thriving up in the island unit, right? Powered by sunlight, supporting large numbers of fish, corals, and all the other associated animals. And we have life thriving in complete darkness, right? Tens of thousands of feet underwater at hydrothermal vents, right? And that's sort of what that's depicting, right? And that's very unique. It's found in our waters, and you know, it's powered by chemical reactions. So there's no sunlight, so there's chemistry down there fueling these kind of diverse or abundant life forms down in the deep. We have a chain of underwater volcanoes where you could find deep corals at the base, and at the summit you could find corals at the summit. In addition, you can find schools of blackjacks, sharks, amberjacks, and even our yellow crown endemic butterfly fish. We have open oceans, you know, that are navigators shared with whales, turtles, and fish. They sailed using the stars, waves, and wind as their compass. And we have many kinds of fish in our monument. You know, we have deep fish that can walk, and fish that can fly. and we also have fish that can swim. All of this to say that our monument is like no other place in the world. You know, it's unique, it's special, and something we can all be proud of. Now I'm just going to talk about the monuments or the buildings and our partners. So the exterior mural, right, this is what we're looking at one side, and this wraps around to the other side. Depicts all these cool ecosystems and organisms from the shallow island unit, you know, to the deep trench unit. So everything you see is real. It can be found in our waters. You know, ask myself or Gian or any of our partners what these are, and we can tell you. In the inside, we have an interpretive wrap where you could read about our mission and all about the various units of the monument. You know, the mission at my office or the Fish and Wildlife Service, right, is to work with others to conserve, protect, and enhance fish, wildlife, and their habitats for the continuing benefit of the American people, right? The Chamorro people, the Carolinian people, you know, all the people in the Sinamay and Guam. Our interior office improvements wouldn't have been possible without, you know, partnerships and working with former employees securing funding, you know, that secured planning and design of the interior wrap, working with visitor services and contractors, community members, navigators, you know, all helping us incorporate culture and accuracy in everything that's on the inside. That was a team effort. Many thanks for those that helped out. The exterior, the mural, was also a result of partnerships. The first partnership was with Miss Barbara Alberti from the Park Service, who gave us the green light to paint on her khaki walls. Thank you, Barbara, for allowing us to share some of our ecosystems with the community. Yeah, Barbara's smiling right now. Also with Barbara's staff, you know, helped us prep the space and the grounds and the walls. So thank you, John and team, for helping us out. We partnered also with the Blue Nature Alliance and Northern Marianas College to help fund the project, right? So that was another big partnership. Thank you, NMC and Blue Nature Alliance. That partnership also gave us a few interns who helping out with the interpretation and painting of the mural. Bernadette and Vince. Thank you, Vince. Bernadette. You know, when deciding on who to, you know, work with to paint the mural, we saw some stuff online from Miss Constance Sartor. She's a former Guam UOG Marine Lab student, so she's scientifically trained. She's a science illustrator, so she does illustrations for publications, and you know, she knows how to paint on big surfaces, right? And so we worked with Constance to help design and kind of paint what we see today. And Constance told me that, you know, working on the mural was a very exciting opportunity because she got to combine public art and science to showcase the important sea creatures in the region. And she's also thankful for all the talented volunteers that spent hours helping bring that vision to life. So I was not here for the entirety of the mural. So, you know, they spent a few weeks with the volunteers in rain or shine, making sure that it gets done. So thank you for Constance and the team for getting all the painting done. Yeah. And for me, accuracy is a big deal, right? I want these things that you see here to be real. You can point to an animal, a species, and that was help from a Division of Fish and Wildlife. So Mr. Mike Tenorio and fisherman Mr. Lino Tenorio for helping us get our species correct and accurate. So, you know, we were working with them to make sure that what we see here is really what you would see if you happen to be up in these areas. You know, for myself and my office, like our main job here is to connect the stories of the deep, right, to the people in the community. Our monument is far away and for the most part inaccessible because it's deep. Jihan Yunis, our park ranger, mostly Jihan, work to spread our message through education and outreach and community engagement. You know, there are a lot of things we don't have, but when it comes to anything underwater, you know, we have that in abundance, and that's something we need to be proud of. Last fiscal year, Jihan participated in over 30 different community events and reached over 3,000 students here in Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, spreading our message. She has accommodated every outreach request she received, so she doesn't know how to say no. And our office is going to help us spread that message. Before I go, I'd like to recognize our Fish and Wildlife Service Refuges and Monuments family in the crowd. We have Miss Juliet Fernandez, our Region 1 Chief of Refuges, visiting from the Vancouver, Portland area. Thank you, Juliet, for showing up. We have Mr. Jared Underwood, the Pacific Islands Area Supervisor and for Refuges and Monuments out of Honolulu. So, Jared, thanks for coming. Miss Maribel Pinata, our Visitor Service Ranger from our southern island neighbor of Guam, from the Guam National Wildlife Refuge. And our local visitor service is specialist, Miss Jihan Yunus. Thank you, Jihan. And we have our interns again, Mr. Vince Mesa and Miss Bernadette Hori. I'll end by stating that our office is always striving to be an asset to the community. We are trying to do our part in the community to bring awareness and pride in our underwater resources. Sidus Masi, Giliso, and thank you. Mr. Lieutenant Governor, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Good morning. Hafaday and Tiro to all of you who are here this morning to witness the grand opening of the monument, something that we've been waiting for the longest time, since way back when. Right, Roberta? Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. I am very pleased to see a place, an actual place, a building that is dedicated to further serve the purposes of the Presidential Proclamation number 8335, which former President George W. Bush signed on January 9, 2009. Mr. McDuff, you have your work cut off for you. Getting this building repaired and ready to be used as a Mariana Trench Marine National Monument. Visitors will contact this station right here on your very own American Memorial Park, and it's truly an accomplishment. Thank you very much for working very hard to make this happen. In your invitation to me to join you this morning, you mentioned you worked with a lot of partners to get to this point. To those partners, I say thank you for your time, your resources, and interest in getting this station done. Thank you very much. I always hope that no one will ever forget the people that first came to these beautiful Mariana Islands, as people whose life depended on what the great ocean and limited land resources in the Mariana Islands could give for their survival. The land and ocean became dear to them. I know they knew our ocean and land had limits, and I know they measured their interaction with both. We are all here and still able to see, enjoy, and remain proud of these great resources because they never figure generations. They knew their future generations would need them to survive. I am sure there is a ton of work still ahead to do. Thank you to the National Park Service, Barbara, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration for continuing the work to bring the Mariana Trench, and its mysteries to a contact station like for our residents and visitors to learn from and enjoy. Just last week we had a visitor here from be working with going up there and hopefully trying to find that monster down there that was on TV the other day. I was very shocked to see that. Is that a fish, Mr. McDuff? And that's the one that's walking, right? Okay. Again, thank you very much for joining us this morning. This is a historical event for us. And thank you for those that have worked very hard since the beginning to make this happen. To know Mr. Cabrera was here also during the big heated session that we had way back. I think it was in the 10th Congress, right? 10 to 11 that we were working on the Mariana Strength bill back then. But again, this is a reality for all of us. It's good to see something happen. Even though it's called Mariana Strength, it belongs to us, Northern Mariana Strengths, right? It just so happened that we're connected with Guam. We have no choice, right? Now let's promote the Mariana Strengths and continue to invite visitors to come and see this thing happen. And there's a lot of mystery up there. I don't know if anybody will ever dive down that deep, but looking at the thing on the TV, whoever did that, Mr. McDowell, did a good job promoting that. First time I see that kind of thing, I don't think I want to see that when I'm diving. I could be diving backwards instead of forward. So, again, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lieutenant Governor. The trench is 900 something miles long, so I think there's enough for us to share with our Guam partners. We still have a majority, but I recognize Mr. R.B. Camacho, our mayor. Thank you, Mr. R.B., for showing up. Next on the agenda, Mr. John Oliver Gonzalez would like to share a few remarks. Thank you.
I'm a cultural practitioner, and so when I don my Northern Islands spondylus, it's profoundly special. And plus, this one flies away, so yeah, need to change the attire a little bit. Amaga, amaga, amaga. Bipid sa neskayhun mo na ini na hinanaw, ini na karera. Ginini tseptsup unay hujung gimamati, guahtu tsogugu, astay tayfinakpo gimatingan. Arastrozun ifinapos midzu, umatituji, umadahi, umatalaf gi antsun itasita, desde tiempun escases, Estapog. Honoring our ancestors, caring for our ocean, strengthening our indigenous culture, and empowering our future generations. It's my privilege to say these remarks for and on behalf of Honorable Governor Arnold I. Palacios. Dispensa apologies for his missing this event this morning. Today, as we stand at the edge of the Pacific and gaze into the vast blue infinity that surrounds us, we celebrate more than just a monument, as Dr. Sean Ujisang Guerrero McDuff mentioned earlier. We celebrate a living legacy, our blessing, and inheritance. Hitani man irideru, man mairen siya hitpoku. From our indigenous Chamorro ancestors. The official opening of the monument today marks a powerful convergence of natural wonders, indigenous heritage, and economic salvation and opportunities ahead of us. Our fellow Mariana Islanders, we are rich. And I wish and I dream that we have sound and thoughtful investment of the billions and trillions of dollars below the seabed mines, from our continental shelf out to our 200 miles exclusive economic zone. Get ready. The Marianas Trench is Mother Earth's iconic natural wonder, the one and only final natural frontier, home to stunning biodiversity, endemic species found nowhere else. First time I've heard of flying fishes. Sean, flying, I want to see that. And ecosystems that hold answers to questions we haven't even thought of, much less even dreamt of. My fellow peeps who call Mariana's home, how cool is that? Our very own maritime backyard is a sanctuary of life, a natural, rich swimming pool for global marine research, and a gateway to discoveries that may help heal and advance our entire planet in an ecosystem and natural way. Our very own ocean, alongside our 15 islands archipelago, I included Guam, is at the cusp of the world's next discovery for technology, medicine, minerals for our planet's healing, and advancements for sustainability beyond. But this monument is not just about protection. It's about infinite possibilities. For the people of the Mariana Islands, the Northern Marianas, especially our Tautau Tsamoru, Refalowash communities, and the rest who call the Marianas home, this is also about charting a course on our canoes for self-determined prosperity. With careful, responsible stewardship, the monument opens new doors of opportunities untapped, such as scientific partnerships, blue economy initiatives, and workforce development that center with and along our local talents. Number one, among those opportunities is deep seabed mining, a topic that brings both great potential and great sense of responsibility. With thoughtful investment, transparency, and respect for the environment and our people, it can become our salvation economic tool for economic revitalization, bringing much needed dire revenue, infrastructure, and skilled employment workforce to our islands. But we must be deliberate, we must be strategic, we must be relentless, and to ensure that it is done by us, for us. Hita para hita, hish para hish, kulolonya takuelaish. Empowering our indigenous workforce and the rest of our fellow residents with training, education, and leadership in every step of the process. Number two, today signals the growth of a new generation of marine scientists, oceanographers, engineers, and traditional navigators. Guys, how cool it would be for all the Hollywoods of the world to come here and tap our new set of oceanographers and engineers, scientists from our very own beautiful, sacred soil of the Marianas. By partnering with universities and research institutions, not just here, but regionally and internationally, we will open doors for our youth to pursue careers in science and sustainability. By ensuring that the guardians of this rich ocean, ginini manamkotay, imangwilotas and mingwilata, now are not visitors from afar, but the very people who have always belonged here. Number three, and lastly, this monument represents our core values, that our ocean will remain abundant, that through traditional fishing knowledge and management practices, our culture will remain strong and our children will inherit not only the immaculate beauty of this place, but will enjoy the billions and trillions of dollars held in reserves for our people, the Northern Marianas descent and residents, to be realized with sound, ethical business investments with global investors, equipped with the tools to protect it, and armed with traditional and cutting-edge human capital intelligence to prosper from it. Let the world know that from the deepest ocean trench, the people of the Northern Mariana Islands and Guam are rising with knowledge, rising with a deep sense of pride, and rising with newfound sense of purpose, their very own sacred cultural homeland on land, on air, and tagdung, down our deep seabeds from the continental shelves to our rich, untapped, exclusive economic zone. Amaga umogaan lesor muamay nga likami atay hinehi ati-atihan.
Next on our agenda, Mr. Dr. Galvin DeLongro, please.
You know, lately, whenever I'm involved in a speaking engagement, I'm usually the last one. So I'm the person standing between you and your lunch or your food. But it's also especially intimidating to come after Mr. Gonzalez, who has such a command of our indigenous languages. My command of my Chamorro language is limited to the curse words I learned from my parents when they were fighting growing up. So don't worry, I won't use those today. Maybe later at Naked Fish. Lieutenant Governor Apatang, I now know why they say happy Apatang Giving, because every day with you is happy. So it's always a pleasure to share this space with you. And Governor Palacios, yes, let's give him a big round of applause. Governor Palacios, on behalf, represented here today by Mr. Gonzalez, Speaker Edmund Villagomez, and the members of the 24th Legislature. I hope I'm not missing anyone. Coach, Representative Ogle, Senator Castro, and I'm not missing anyone, right? Yeah. And Mayor. No, I'm not. I'm getting to the mayor and Ranger Barb, and of course Mayor RB Camacho, Uncle RB. I just learned recently he's my uncle, so I have to always amen. Commissioner Dr. Lawrence Camacho, and of course Sean McDuff and the entire team here. So, and the chairman of our board of education, Mr. Kodep. What's up, Kodep? So lately I've taken this on Tinian, Luta, and of course Saipan. I borrowed this from June Coleman over at 500 Sales. And I've been using this as sort of a visual aid in talks I've been delivering on the 3 islands. And I thought, okay, I can use it one last time before I have to return it to June Coleman. And of course, this is a traditional seafaring map, a navigation map, and in this lower corner is the Marshall Islands. And I share this with you because it represents a lot about our islands and our island cultures and community. The first thing that it represents, and this was really fascinating that I learned from June, is that this is not just a map. The sticks represent not just routes, but certain ocean currents and wave patterns. So this map represents what connects our islands. And I find that utterly fascinating because, you know, when you look at a typical map of the Pacific Islands and the Marianas, you see a vast ocean that seemingly divides us. And for us, though, the ocean unites us. And that's what this map represents. It represents the connections between our islands, between our peoples. But this map also represents the heritage of our islands. To think that our ancestors navigated the entire Pacific with nothing but lessons they had inherited from generation to generation to generation, using nothing but their feeling of the ocean and the air, feeling the canoes, looking at the night sky, finding their way using what they have in their heritage. So this map represents our heritage. But I think more than anything else, it represents agency, because our ancestors and our current traditional navigators are using this map and everything it represents to revive our cultural practices. And our ancestors used it to overcome immense adversity, whether it be hundreds of years of colonial rule, military conflict, natural disasters. They used their agency to survive. And today, this monument represents all of that. It represents the connections of this map, because it took connections to make this happen, right? The connections between our partners, our local and national partners. This would not have happened without that. Those connections, those partnerships allow us to do amazing things. It also represents a connection between science, art, and culture. And that is an incredibly valuable connection to have. As someone who likes to tell stories on stage and in film, that connection is vital. So to connect science, art, and culture is important. But the most important connection it represents is connecting us to nature. It reminds us that nature is not some foreign thing or abstract thing you study in a research article. It's something that we are bound to every day. Like John Gonzalez was saying, the air, the land, and the sea. This monument also represents our heritage. It speaks to our heritage. It speaks to the enduring legacy of who we are in the Marianas, our shared cultures, our unique cultures, our customs that we have passed on from generation to generation. This is a monument to that. But I think, above all, this is a monument to our agency, because no matter what happens, we find a way to make things happen. I remember when we first started talking to Dr. McDuff, and we're trying to figure out how are we going to celebrate our art, our culture, our science, and we found a way to make this happen. That is us not succumbing to victimhood. That is us exercising agency. So, connection, heritage, and agency. We face a lot of problems today. The national federal landscape is turbulent at best. Locally, our economy is struggling. And internationally, we are facing conflict in one area of the world to another area. But I have a deep, abiding faith in all of us that if we remember the connections, the heritage, and the agency that makes us who we are, we will get through it all. It's going to take us connecting with each other. It's going to take us tapping into our heritage. It's going to take us exercising our agency to make it happen and to not only survive, but thrive. So as I leave you to the actual ribbon cutting and the food, I want to end with something I like to end every speech I deliver on behalf of NMC, because our mascot is a proa, of course. And it represents our need to make sure we take care of ourselves, our physical health, our mental health, but also to not stay put and not stay focused on our problems of today, but keep moving towards tomorrow. Stay safe, stay calm, and sail on. Si Zeus Masi, and congratulations.
Before we cut the ribbon and before Jihan takes the folks around for a tour, you know, when I found out who was actually going to be speaking today, I said I need to speak first. Because everyone, I mean, I think it got better and better. So I'd invite maybe Mr. Lawrence, Governor, Mr. Villagomez, Mr. Tenorio, Barbara, Mayor, Mr. Rangmar. We're gonna pass out scissors to cut, Mr. Cabrera. We have 12 scissors, so we have to. And the speakers, please come up. We're gonna take our ceremonial picture right in front of our side entrance to our office, which is our main entrance.
Do you have an extra one called a board chair? I'll stand with him.
Kore? Kore?
Chair.
Kore?
Do you have an extra one?
Yeah. You can give mine to Kore.
Thank you.
We'll just stand on that.
We got official ribbon cutting scissors for everybody.
Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo!